Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Dead Eyes by Palfly Kampling. So this continues our ambiguity theme week. Hope you're enjoying it so far. We're almost done, but not quite. So this is ambiguous between X-sums and hit points. I will definitely go over what that means. Okay, so first we do have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules. So in each row, each column, and each 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. Now, some of these clues outside the grid might be X-sum clues. If they are an X-sum clue, let's say this 11 here, what you do is you take the digit that is right next to the X-sum clue. So let's say this digit ends up being a 3. Then what you need to do is then take these 3 cells, because this is a 3, you take all 3 of these, including the 3, and they have to sum to 11. So we've already used 3, so we need to sum to 8. So maybe we do 2, 6. So 2, 3, 6, right, would add to 11. So this would be one way to fulfill that. Now, if this was a 4, then you'd have to use all 4 of these to add to 11. All right. Now, otherwise, they could be a hit point clue. I'm not going to try to give an example. I guess I could give an example for the 11. I think it's fine. Basically, what you do is you look down in the direction of the clue, and you think about the distance each cell is. And so in this case, because the clue's on top, this is the distance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So any digits that match the distance, so in this case, all of them, you sum them up, and that has to match the clue if it's a hit point clue. So in this case, this would sum to 21, so that's no good. But I could swap the 4 and 6, and now I have the 1, 2, 3, and 5 that do match. Those add to 11, and so that would match our hit point clue, and then the 6 and 4 do not match. They don't contribute to the sum. So that is hit points, and they go in the direction. So if from this 3, we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'd probably just want maybe the 3 to be in place. We could swap the 2 and 1. We could do 4, 6, 5 or something. This would match the 3 clue, right? Because just the 3 matches. All right. And so we don't know which clue is X-sum and which clue is hit points. So that's for us to figure out. I guess they could technically be both as well. All right. And that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I'm going to get started right now. 20. So if this was an X-sum clue, this is limited for both X-sum and hit points. If it's an X-sum clue, this has to be a 5. And then the digit we're missing is the 1. So the 1 would end up over here, right? So all 5 of these would add to 20 because we're missing the 1. Thinking about the outies for large digits is often helpful, right? These 5 get used and the 1 is out. So the outies add to 1 because 1 through 6 adds to 21. So that's one option, that 5, 1. Let's write that over here just for scratch. The other option is it's a hit point clue, in which case, well, we'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but then we'd have to subtract 1 from this. So we need the 1 to not be a hit point clue. But as soon as we do that, we're swapping with another digit, which also removes that digit as a hit point. So 20 is actually not possible. So we get our first 2 digits. We get a 5 here and a 1 here. Very nice. Now that's all we get. I mean, this fulfills the X-sum on its own. I'm going to put a little X there to show it's an X-sum. And then I'll put an O for, oh, I can't put an O there. I'll just use a different color. I'll use purple X for the, if it ends up being an X-sum. Sorry, X-sum is green. Hit point would be purple. All right. So now, I don't think this 3 can be an X-sum clue because 3 would always need to use 2 digits. You can't use 1 digit with an X-sum because it only uses itself, and that would be a 1. So unless it's a 1 clue, you can't use a 1. And then 3 is way too big, right? We'd have to use 3 digits to add to 3. We already are at 3. So it would have to be 2, and then we add 1 to 2, but the 1's gone. So this is definitely a hit point clue. And because the 1 is gone, we can't have the 1, 2 in place, so we have to have just the 3 in place. And then these are not in place. We already know the 1 isn't in place. But I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to put 2, 4, 5, 6 here. This can't be 2. This can't be 4. This can't be 5. All right. Might be excessive, but we'll see. All right. The 11 clue. So this is something special about 11 clues. I like how this is flowing. Everything we get, it affects the next clue that it sees. You can't actually do 11 and 4. In my example, I didn't want to show that, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because I want you to figure this out. 4 cells adding to 11 have to be 1, 2, 3, 5. which famously does not include the 4. So I could add to 10, right? Without the 3, I can't actually. But so even missing the 3 just makes it even worse. But we definitely can't do it in 4, and we can't do it in 3, and you can't do 11 and 2 without the 9, and there's no 9 in this puzzle. So, and 5 is too many. Now, even if it could be a 5, it's too many, because 5 digits add to 15 minimum. So anyway, this is definitely not an exum clue. This is definitely a hit point clue. So we already know the 3 and the 6 are out of place. That's already 9 missing, right? Because the 3 is taking the 6's spot. So the 3 and 6 are out of place. That is 9. So 21 minus 9 is 12. So we just have to be missing 1 more, which means the 6 has to occupy where the 1 goes. And then the 1 has... Okay. Oh, actually, no. This is... Yeah. This has to be 6 and this has to be 1. That's the only way that's going to work. We have to make a kind of rotation of the 1, 3, and 6. But we can't put the 1 here. It would be in place. So this is the 1. This is the 6. And then these are going to be exactly the 2, 4, and 5. And that does indeed add to 11. So these can't be 5. So that places the 5 here because it can't go here. It would be a hit point. All right. That's neat. I like how the 11 resolved. Now this 11... If we want to do 11 as an exum, it has to do 3. We already talked about how it has to be 3. And then these 2 then add to 8. And we cannot do 2 plus 6 anymore. The 6 is here. So this is another hit point clue. So we know that the 2 is using up the 3. The 3 is also gone. And so that's 5 that's missing. I don't know if that's enough. I wonder if there's Sudoku to do. Let's see how much Sudoku we can get out of this. 2's up here. Maybe this 11? Huh. So if we want to do 11, if it's an exum, it would have to be 11 and 3. And then, let me do it in small digits. It would have to be 11 and 3. So then these add to 8. We could do 2, 6. I don't see why not. This would be a 4. That would work out just fine. Can't do 3, 5. In fact, 3, 2, 6 is the only way to do it, because you can't do 3, 5 either. Okay. So it could be 3 with a 2, 6 pair, or we could be a hit point maybe. This 5 is occupying 4, so we're already missing 9. Okay, so if we're a hit point, this is a 4, because we have to do the same thing we were doing before. So, ooh, interesting. It doesn't work. It doesn't work here. Let's erase this. The 5 is occupying the 4 spot. So we know the 4 got displaced. So we know that we're missing 9 already. And remember, when we're missing 9 for an 11 clue, we need another 1 to be missing. And so in order to do that, the 4 would be occupying the 1 spot. And then the 1 would be occupying the 5 spot. No, that does work. For some reason, I didn't think it was going to work. I don't know why. Oh, I thought the 4 would end up there for some reason. or the 5. Okay, yeah. So it would work. So this would be a 4 and this would be a 1. And again, we would end up with 2. Well, we'd end up with 2, 3, 6. And 2, 3, 6 does that to 11. So this is how the hit point would resolve. And then the exum would resolve with a 3 here. And then this would be a 2, 6 pair. And so we don't know about these 2, but we know that these are the only options here. I wonder how much that helps. So 3's in one of these 2. I don't know. I feel like I case checked that for no reason. I wonder if this 8 is interesting. I haven't looked. It's the only thing I haven't looked at, so I hope so. I guess I could fill these out. I don't know. So 8, if it was an exum clue, we could do 2, 6. That's an option. Oh, not like that. 2, 6. With 3, we would then do 1, 4. Oh, the 4 is gone. 3, 1, 4 is the other way to do it, but the 4 is gone. So we'd have to be 2, 6 as an exum. What about hit pointing 8? The 4 is already in. 4 is hit pointed, so we need to hit point just 4 more. So the 5 and 6 would not be able to be hit pointed, but we would need 1 and 3. So this would be, this can't be a 1. Okay. So this 8 has to be an exum and it has to be 2, 6. Because this can't be a 1. We need 4 more hit pointed, which would be the 1 and 3. And the 1 can't do it. So this is 2, this is 6, this is 5. That makes this a 2. Now I'm sure that tells us, yeah, it makes this 3, 2, 6. Okay, I didn't need all that. That's 6, that's 2. At least it filled out quickly after I found it. This is a 1, 4 pair. This is a 2. What's this? This is a 1, 3. And this is a 4, 6. Okay, this 6 tells us the order. I wonder if this 11 is hit pointed yet. Anyway, we'll find out in a minute. Let's do as much Sudoku as we can. This is the 1. This is the 3. Over here we need 2, 6. This is the, oops, come on. This is the 2 and the 6. Down here we need the 3 and 5, which is not resolved. And let's just pencil all these. We need the 1, 3, 4, 5. This isn't 4, that's not 5. All right. So we know this is hit pointed. 2 is out of place. Should we just think about what's in place, maybe? Yeah, the 4 and the 6 are in place. We just need the 1. Easy. Okay. Gives us the 3 and the 1. Gives us the 5. We get the 3 and the 5, the 4 and the 1, the 4 and the 3, and we're done. Correct solution, too. Good. Right, 3 in the corner right at the end there. Nice. So I guess I should mark that this was an X-sum and this was an X-sum. All right. Cool. Well, that was a neat puzzle, Palfly. It took some. I think I was looking at the wrong clues, but they were very tempting to case check, because I ended up finding the right clue by case checking it anyway. So, yeah, there weren't too many cases to check. X-sums are quite limited, actually. And then the hit points are fun to think about. I liked thinking about how, like, I liked how we kind of got introduced to the concepts of what works as hit points and what works as X-sums, right? Like the 20 gave us the 1 here, which immediately led us to getting that the 3 was hit pointed, placing this 3, which immediately led us to say that this was hit pointed, which kind of, I think, finished the whole column, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, that's really neat. I enjoyed that. Let me know how you did. If you enjoyed it, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.